special live version of Kenknowsgambling, and we're gonna do a paycheck. It is Wednesday, about 7 p.m. And the first thing that I wanted to do, Waylon came out with his lay the point ladder. I've played it several times, and I haven't busted it yet, so I thought we would try to do a paycheck with it. And then, when I make my paycheck, if I make my paycheck, I want to talk about the UAW. John's been spanked twice. Hold on there, just what the hell is this doing? John's been hit twice, in the last couple days. And, there just may be nothing. I love the strategy. I really do. I've been high on it, but I want to talk about the come out. We'll do that after the paycheck, okay? So Woon Chung, BlackJack, I don't know, man. I've been on a crap tilt lately. I'll get to other games. DDP1, what's up, brother? I'll get to other game. Now, tomorrow is my regular Thursday show. So as of right now, I won't do craps tomorrow. Probably be Baccarat maybe. But I'll decide that between now and then. So right now, let's do Waylon's lay the point ladder. All right. He uses 100, but 100's too hard for me to calculate. So I'm going to use it by 120 because I think everything's doable with 120. Again, I still have my $5,100 bankroll as normal. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull out a couple of those. We'll pull out a couple of those, and we'll put out a couple of these. Sort of get ready for this. So here's why I like it, especially since the don't pass can get spanked. It just can. I mean, that's just the nasty about don't pass. We don't have to worry about the come out. We don't have to worry about 7s, 11s, nothing. We're just going to grab a point and lay it. If that don't, we're going to ladder the 120 to 240. If we get popped there, we'll go to 360. If we get popped there, we'll go to 4, whatever we need to go to. The only really way I think this thing can get spanked is if somebody's just banging point after point after point and they never 7 out. But that's a risk in craps. Every strategy has its what if. What if this happens? Well, you get whacked. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do this. Now this is Waylon's lay the point ladder. I'm not sure that's exactly what he called it, but close enough. Here we go. Okay, there's a 9. Okay, so we're just gonna lay it, 120 bucks. So we're back to rooting for the 7 again. So let's see if we can do it. There's the 9, we didn't. Okay, so it immediately gets pegged. Okay, so now we're gonna go up to 240 when we get a point. Another 9. Oh my God, how many 9s in a row can we do? We're going to find out. Let's lay the 240. There's a yo. There's a 12. There's a 10. All high numbers. There's a 4. 224. Another 224. I don't know if this is good news or bad news. There's an 8. 628. There's the 7 out. All right. So far, so good. So, on the 240, we're going to win 180, I believe it is. 120, we'd win. On 120, we would win 80. So we're gonna, on 240, we're gonna win 160. So let's go ahead and bring that down. Let's get 160, like so. And then we can come back down to our normal 120 and get a point. 7. I was playing my UAW and I got spanked. There's a 6. And actually, in this strategy, 6 and 8s are pretty good because they pay you more. So that ain't a bad thing. Of course, they can get hit easier too. But anyway, let's go ahead and lay the 6 for 120. There's the 7 out. This is sort of the rolls that you sort of want to see. So the 120 will pay me 100. Okay, that's good. We get a rack of black. We'll just hold on to that 120 there. Let's grab another point. Okay, there's a 4. Now on 4s, if you have laddered, at the base level, you're okay. 120 will get you 60. But if you're in the ladder, you're going to have to go up on that because of that 1 to 2 lay. But if that happens, we'll get to it. But right this second, I don't have to worry about it. So we'll lay the 120 on the 4. There's a 5. There's a 6. Now let's just go ahead and hit the 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a 3. There's a 2. There's a 9. A 6. A lot of hard ways. A lot of hard ways. There's a yo 11. There's the 7 out. So I tend to 7 out a lot. That's just me. But anyway, so that 120 will get a 60. Okay. We don't have to press. We don't have to do anything. Let's just roll another one. Okay, there's a 4. A 3, 2, 1, 3. 6, 3, 9. 2, 2, 4. All right. Had to happen to us sooner or later. All right, so that 120, we're going to go up to 240. Like so. Grab us a point. 9. 5. 5. 7 out. So far, if we just go 2, 1, 2, 1, it's really pretty cool. So on the 9, again, that should pay me 160. I'm going to check that. I think I'm right. My brain is so soft. I think it is. 120 would pay me. Yeah, it's 160. Sorry, my brain's soft. Couple more hits. We'll look at everything, see where we're at. We should be doing fairly well right at the moment. So far, this is a fairly dark table. Let me come over here and see if I see anything. What do you say, Dan, DVD? How are you, brother? How are you? How are you? How are you? Okay. And I promise you, once I get done with this paycheck, we're going to talk about this UAW business. And I'll need anybody that's watching their help. I think I got 8 right now. I had 9 or 10. I must be boring people. All right. There's another 9. So we're only at the 120 mark, which would pay us 80 if we can hit it. There's a 213. There's a 538. There's a 5-3 leaner 8. There's a 5, 5, 10. Whoop, that slow rolled over there. There's an 8. That's another 8. We're all over that 9, boy. 3, 5. What if I do a hard? I'll do a 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 5. Watch this. 5. No, didn't work. Another 4. A 4. The next portion of my show will be fun, y'all. So there's an 8. Man, we are all over that 7. Come on now. There's a yo 11. There's another 8. Oh my God. There's the 4, 3, 7 out. Okay, 120 will pay us 80. Let's see if we can get one more and we'll count up just to see where we're at. There's a 10. See if we get one more 7 here. There's a boxcar. There's an 8. God, I've been rolling a lot of 8s though. Mercy. Another 8, except hard way. 4, 2, 6. 1, 2, 3. 4, 3, 7 out. Okay, that'll pay us 60. Let's see where we're at. Real quick. Maybe there already. Not sure. Clean my rack up and that'll tell us real quick. We'll be close. Yeah, we're gonna be there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 375, 385. That's Paycheck. So let's go ahead and pull these out, and then we'll get to our next little segment here, which is really what I wanted to do tonight. So what I did, when I was using this damn marker, it was bleeding through the damn paper. And so I went ahead and redid everything. So this makes me now 36-1, boys and girls. So we're 36-1. Out of the 300, we only need the 150. So let's go ahead and pull the 150 out. Add it. So that's $4,350 we have, and I don't even think we've reached a month yet. But one day, I do it every week. So every week is like one day at the casino. But anyway, $4,350 since I've been doing this again. Then we got the savings account. Now remember, I went $5,000 down. The only loss I've had. So I'm loading up a little bit heavier on the savings account. So I'm going to put 125. I put 135 in the savings account. So we got $2,245. We're now 36-1. And $2,245 in the savings account. I'm halfway, just in my savings account, I'm halfway there to be able to pay back the $5,000 that I lost. But again, like I told you when it happened, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just keep stocking your envelopes every time. Don't worry. It'll eventually get there. And then We're going to put 100 in the fund money. So I have now $2,185. If I took, and I'm not gonna, and I don't want you to do it either, but if I took the $2,185 from fund, and then I took whatever I said I had in the savings account, $2,245, $4,430, I could almost have the bankroll back to where it was. But again, I'm not worried about it. We'll get there. Okay? So, what we just did was a paycheck show for a Wednesday. We used Waylon's lay the point. I never was in much trouble. I have never been in that much trouble. I think I've got to level 4 once. And then I started 7ing out and it all came back. But just be aware that it could. If somebody just banging points and everybody around the table just point after point after point, yeah, this would be trouble too. But it's very low risk to me. So I like this. If I was to have to rate this little easy one, if y'all remember my rating system, that's middle of the road. Busted coconut is just busted, worthless. Cracked coconut is almost worthless. The coconuts with the top pull, that means it's almost great. And then the one with the straw means it's really good. I would have to rate it here. I would. It's so simple. I like it. So there you go there. All right. So now let's change gears here. Let's see here. Okay, I got 10 watching. What's that, Mitch? Yeah, it's all money management, man. But I did want to talk about my UAW. I think John calls it the DI, whatever. And of course, everybody knows I don't believe in the DI shit. I just don't. But I'll never argue with somebody over it. I think I've just come to a decision that if you win with it, you think you can, whatever, it can't hurt you, right? You can't be more random than just random. So if it makes somebody happy and they believe in it, that's fine. No argument out of me either way. Now, let's talk about this UAW. What's the problem with it, y'all? Somebody go ahead and be Captain Obvious. I got 12 watching. Somebody be Captain Obvious and tell me what's wrong with the UAW or the DI don't. I'll wait. I already know the answer, but I'll wait. Somebody tell me the gaping hole in this thing. I'll give you a few seconds. If nobody says it, I'll spill the beans. And then we got to fix it. But I'm telling you, one fix is worse than the damn, there just ain't much you can do. I'm not sure how long my delay is on this, but I'll go ahead and tell you. What's the big problem with any don't? It's the don't itself coming out of that fucking don't. It is the nasty, okay? So John has been putting 500. I've been putting between 2 and 3. So John wants to keep it level and not go up when he gets whacked because he believes he can roll more 1s or 2s and 3s and whatnot. Just ain't been the case for the last couple days. And he's been getting popped on 7s, okay? That's right, Dan, it's a DP problem, okay? So option 1 has always been, if it gets taken, it gets taken. And that may be just the big deal. It's just, on this strategy. If it gets taken, I believe if it gets taken, you ladder. John is absolutely against laddering. But I don't believe you can go flat on this, especially if a 7 comes every 3 or 4 rolls. I just don't. I think eventually it'll kill you. And so what's a solution? Well, one solution is go back to the old school. It's a solution, but It doesn't mean it's a great one because you're playing with $300. You can come up and lay. But if you lay the 4 or 10, you got to come at this as double money. So if the 10 gets hit, you're actually twice worse off than you was if you just let the don't pass get picked off. So that's, you have to weigh that, except, well, the 10 can be made 3 ways, the 7 can be made 6 ways. At least you have 3 chances less. And if it's just Mr. 777, it'll save you. Okay? But nonetheless, if the 10 gets pegged or whatever number you're laying, you could be in worse trouble. So there's option 1. Option 2 would be splitting the lay itself. 3 and 3. Of course, now it's 3 ways, 3 ways. It's 6 ways against 6 ways on that 7. But now both of them can't. Both of them can't hurt you. You can only lose the 3, which is what you would have lost down here anyway. You can do it that way, okay? Or you can come at and do a 6 or an 8 for about 3. Let's see, 120, 240, 360? You can lay the 6 or the 8 for 360. That way you can still cover the 3, but it's only going to cost you $60 more. So there's options as far as laying, and you're going to have to come down and pick that yo. You're going to have to. I would choose 25 because 25 would make money. So I would burn 25 down here, but if the 300 gets to a nice number up here, I'm going to get it back. So there's the first discussion right there. Do you lay a 4 or 10? Do you lay a 5 or a 9? Do you split them? Do you lay a 6 or 8? Or do you not hedge at all? Let's get that one out of the way first. I want to know what people think. And I know I have probably a good 30-second delay here. So Dan is, okay, smaller loss but bigger target. Which one? Just letting it go and not hedging it? I got 16 of you watching, so this is good. Okay? The first thing we have to figure out is, because I got a lot of things I can do that can help us once this damn thing goes through. Once it goes through, we're in good shape no matter what we do. But if we get banged on 7-11s, we're hurting. Okay? All right, so Mike, let it go, no hedge. All right? Let's say we do that right at the moment. Let it go, no hedge. All right? Next thing we have to consider. I'm trying to make this the best I can, but I think if I use more of you people out here, I can figure it out a little better. I'm not a creator like John and Waylon. I'm just not. I'm just old school. My brain is so old, it's hard to create new things. All right, so you let it out here like this. Okay, Mike. All right, and it gets whacked. Okay. Video I did maybe a day or two ago, I still gonna ladder. I'm still gonna, but it's a 300. I gotta go up to 6, then 9, whatnot. So if I lose that, I still gotta get out with the 3. I still have to get out. Then if I did, let's say 0.10, then I can come out with 3 out of the dome. I'm not laying the point here yet. Then this will cover this. And I can't get hit twice in a row. But I could down here. 2 7s or a 7 and 11 in a row, man, you're hurting. Okay? Now, that all being said, we don't necessarily have to do the don't pass at all. Okay? Let's back this train up. we can bypass the come out. See, there's a 7 right there. I just would have got whacked, right? Let's bypass that crap. Okay? Of course, there's a 2, 1, 3. I would have missed 300. This shit will drive you crazy. But let's just say there's the 9. The 9 becomes a point. Let's just take the 300 and come out of the DC. We still have to deal with a 7 or 11 at this moment. You ain't getting out of it. You can't get out of it. But if that shooter's banging 7 11s on the come out, well, he damn sure don't want it now. Okay, so if he can control or influence dice, he's going to try to stay as far away from a 7 as he can get it, right? So then we can come out of the DC. There's a 5. Bam, moves right over to the 5, and I'm right in the same shape I would have been, except I got banged twice down here, just screwing around. I got banged twice, but I got it out of the DC. We still can lose here. Maybe you hedged the 11 off. Maybe you don't hedge, the 7. Okay, so once that comes there, now I can place it. You either go full guns, that's 75 bucks. It should be 300. I can go full guns on that, 75, and go for the tie or the win, or you go through the other side and you go, well, I'm going to do 50 to win 70, and I'll take the quarter on the 7. You either go heavy on the 7 side or heavier on the point side, and that's not an argument thing. That's whatever you want to do. So coming out of the DC is, in fact, an option, and leaving the don't pass alone. So, and I can still ladder. I can still ladder the DC. I can. So, how many out there? I got 19 watching. How many of you would think, skip the don't pass all the way around and just come out of the DC? Now, John says, oh no, I ran wind craps and it lost its ass. Well, anything, if you roll it right, anything will lose its ass. I don't care how you play it. You can hedge this thing out on a 10 and it rolls nothing but 10s. You can switch your hedge to the 4 and it'll bang 4s. You got to get this out. You either got to get this don't pass out or you got to get that DC out, and there's nothing you can do about it. You either go naked or you hedge it. The end. And then it becomes money management on if you lose. What do you do when you lose? So you think coming out of the DC is better. What do you think, Mike? Dan? Mitch? Sorry for the delay. All right. Manny. Yeah, Manny, I'm starting to think that the DC is a little bit better myself. Still the same thing, though. Mike just said it. Still the same thing. I got to come out of there. But if, now here's a big if, and you don't want to, tell me this shit, but if you believe in DI, if you believe in it, okay? If you come out of that DC and that Mr. DI guy got around his 7 and 11 down there, he's got a point. He don't want that 7 anymore. So if you believe in DI, and I know half of you guys do, then the DC probably would be the safest. You can still get your 2s and 3s here. It's still the same problem. But we really, other than moving it from the don't pass to the don't come, we haven't really fixed anything other than, you know, maybe somebody rolls a few. I don't know. But it's still, you got to get it out. Once you get it out, you can do a lot of things. So it looks like everybody on chat is just saying go naked with it. Okay. So let's go naked. You can go don't pass or don't calm. Doesn't matter. One or the other. But let's say we're coming out of the DC. Fine. All right. It slides over. Do your thing. Okay. Now at bigger money. Okay. You got 3 over here. Okay. And it gets whacked. Just like down here. What do? You stay flat like John? Do you do a ladder? What do you do? There's the next question. You guys didn't know you were going to come into school, did you? No. Because my brain can't figure it out other than hedging. And there might be nothing to figure out. It just is what it is. Back in my earlier videos, I'm a big proponent of hedging off. And that's okay for $50, you know, but there's arguments for both. But in this one, bigger money, you get hit on that, whatever you lay, man, you're in worse trouble. So I think I agree with you. Okay, just let her ride. But if you get hit, do we ladder? Do you just run it flat and hope you can outpace those 7s? Okay, because I got a great idea. I don't know who it was, but let's just say the 300 came, or John even likes using 500. Here's the next question I'm going to have for you guys. Say, what'd you say? It is what it is. That's correct. Well, yeah, right on. I mean, that's just what it is. If the dice roll your favor, you'll make a fortune on it. If it don't, you'll get whacked, just like anything else. But, so we're agreeing that it doesn't really matter. Don't pass, don't calm. I think everybody's agreeing. Just let it go. Don't hedge it out. Okay, great. Now, let's say you're doing the bigger money like John. You got 500. Okay, he don't ladder either. I still am a fan of laddering. I'll just let you know I am. But let's say he's got that, you know, it comes to the 5. So he more plays for the 7. So he may go, you know, place it for whatever, 4. Okay. And then he'll win either 100 or he'll win whatever that gives you. And that's okay. But here's my question. All right, you got the don't 5. Before you even plug that hole so you can win on either side, before you even do that, is this a smart play? I saw somebody do it. Seemed interesting to me, but I want to talk about it. Somebody came out with 75 in the field. They're going to do an anything but 7 right here. They're going to come out with 150, I think. Something like that. Okay? They want to see if they can get one hit with the iron crush and then plug up the point. So let me stop and breathe there and ask, because here's what I'm thinking. While that may be a good idea, for the last 20 minutes, we've talked about getting this damn thing out. Now, we finally got it out. But now we're putting risk back one more time by even doing this, because it can buckshot on you. That point can get hit. It can buckshot. So you went from 500 to don't come, bam, clean. Let's say it even went to the 4. Let's just give it a better point. It went to the 4. You're now clean to make $150, $200, whichever way you want to do it, right? You did the work, it came out, now it's time to skate. Now, what I saw is this. Okay, 3, 5, 5, 5, whatever they did on that one. They want one hit to get them just some kind of a little bit more profit before they plug that hole up. And I'm thinking you now took the work of getting it out, and now you put yourself back in risk. Now, the worst that can happen is your point getting buckshot. But if the 7 comes, it's just going to tie. I've only got $350, $400 some odd dollars here. If the 7 came, I'd win about $50. Okay, but the point is, you took something that you worked hard to get out, and now you're risking it again. Here is not going to be no tie. If I just go straight to the UAW, I'm not going to tie. I'm going to win on either side. If I come out this way, which is what I saw, now I'm taking it back, all that hard work I did, and risking it again. Even though it might be a tie, it wasn't going to be a tie, and now it could be a tie, or you could lose that 4. So I'm not a fan of that. Let me come back to the board. What do you say, Donnie? So, Donnie, you've been hedging the 7 and letting the 11 go. For years, I've hedged that DC. Now I don't even know anymore. All right, what do you say, doctor? Why not use bet amounts that the common man uses? 5, 15, 25. Well, yeah, you can. I mean, I can, yeah. But my argument is still going to be the same. So we could take all this away. Just like that. And I can sit here and go, all right, it's a $15 table. We're going to come out of the DC. There's a 5. I put 15 out of the DC. Now, obviously, people with $15, you ain't going to worry about hedging off $15. You're just not. I wouldn't, right? 300, I worry about, right? Same thing. So, the points of 5. Let's see if we can get this to move. A 5. There's the buckshot. Remember what I just laid out there? We had a buckshot at ourselves and got whacked. So, again, I'm not a fan of that. So, here comes the point. It buckshot, but now we have a no 5. All right. Excuse me just a second. Now, while another point is established, we can use this on the come out, automatic. We don't even have to plug this yet. We can just use this on the next come out. There's the 7. Yeah, you win about $10. Okay, that's another point in the DC's favor right there. The 7 just helped you in that scenario. So the more I think about it, I think the DC is right. But okay, so you're at 15. Let's say now it's time. It came out. It's time to plug it. Okay. You could throw 15 on it. It's all now the same thing, just different monetary. It's just different. If the 5 comes, that 15 will win me $21. That's $6. Okay, let's just see what happens. There's an 8. There's a 10. There's an 8. There's a 6. There's a 9. Boom, it gets hit. Turn this off. Turn it off. Let the rollout come out. There's a 4. Turn that's back on. 6, 5. Okay? I'm more of a fan of making the money when the point happens, even though I'd say go for the 7, because of how these pay. That's just me, but that's not even up for argument. However you want to do is fine. So this would pay us 21 bucks. Okay, we lose this 15. So basically we went up 6 bucks. It's the same thing, DDP, except it's just a lower bankroll. Am I not right? What do you say there, Skill? I mean, color doesn't mean anything. You know, if I got a $20,000 bankroll, I come out here at 500s, it doesn't mean anything to me. If you don't, you can do the same thing, okay, with a minimum. You can, and try to inch your way. One thing's for sure, if you go low, and maybe that's what you do, maybe you just try to inch it up until until you can actually do more. Because if it's 7 hits you on $15, big deal. I mean, it is what it is, right? And you can't destroy yourself, even if they 7 you to death. You can't destroy yourself. But it is all relative, though. But you could do it that way. I was even thinking about doing 30s. I like making everything simple when I have to plug it. Okay, so let's do that with 30. There's a 10. Then you just come out with 30 bucks on the DC. There's a 9. Boom. Now I can plug the 30. Okay, that 30 would give me 42, right? If it comes. There's an 8. There's the 9. Boom. I lose this, but I get 42. Okay, so I profited 12 bucks on that. Now when I was in LaBerge, that's what I did. I played it with 30s. Then I went up to 60s. But I did it, I'm not going to do it this way anymore, but I was going 30. And let's say the point was a 10. I'm sitting here putting 30 out here because I want the 10. Tie or max. Tie or max. That's just what I was doing. And if I lost that 30, then I went up 35. If I lost or tied, even if I tied, 40. And I had the bankroll to do it that way, and then I could work myself out of it. But as much as I like this, y'all, and as much as I've been high on it, as well as John, for the last several days, that's a problem. That's a problem. It just is. And there's no cure for it. There's no cure for it. Either you're going to roll well that day and you're going to stay away from it, or you're not. You're going to roll like John did today and get crushed. That's just the deal. But if you can come out, it's the sweetest thing you do, especially if you press a little bit, ladder a little bit, up and pull. I was even doing some regression up and pull because it was a $15 table at LaBerge. So when I was coming at 30, okay, and especially if I hit like a 10, okay, where it paid me 60, okay, like so. I lost the 30, but it paid me. So then I regressed to 15. That's exactly, DDP, it's exactly what I did when I was in LaBerge because I didn't have a huge bankroll. I had enough to do what I needed to do there. And then if I won there, up and pull. Up and pull. Okay, and then when I finally would lose, I'd go back to my original bet. Regression up in full, but you got to bet at least twice more than the table minimum. I like that too. But what did we do when I just first started this show? I played Waylon's little lay the ladder, never got into trouble. I made 300 and some odd bucks really pretty quick, no danger. Again, I'm not saying you get into some guy and they pound your points. You can get hurt too. But that 7 is going to come sooner or later. And it'll equal itself out generally. So what I did to make a paycheck is way less stressful. It's way less everything than what I'm trying to do here. But I'm going to figure this out. I can't figure out the come out. I mean, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. But I think if I do ladders, regression up and pulls when I'm winning, somebody said just a minute ago, it's money management. That's exactly what this is. It's all about money management and discipline. If I start with a 30 bucks, okay, and I win, especially on a 9 or 10 or whatever, then I can come down to 15. Then I can up and pull. I'm not going to stay flat, ever. Because when you're losing, I think just staying flat eventually kills you. You're either going to have to ladder, regress, up and pull. You got to do some money movement. You just have to, I think. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I don't know if we really accomplished anything. Let me go back over here and read some of this stuff. Give me a second. All right. Well, bubble crap. I did see. Darling, I started this off with bubble crap. It's $5 and all that, and those 80 cents and dollars. While I was just trying to prove concept over at bubble craps, and then I took it to the real table. Oh my God, is that slow? You think that's slow? Boy, bubble crap's doing this. Yeah, it'll work. Just like it'll work on a real table. But that is, you want to slit your wrist, especially when the bubble crap machine malfunctions. You got to wait for them to get over and fix it. Yeah, you can do bubble craps, but oh my God. Hey, Jen. You can do it on bubble craps, but oh my God, you'll want to slit your wrist before you win $5. No kidding. Yeah, Jen, that's what we were talking about before you actually got over here. Getting out of the don't or the don't come, that's the hill, man. And hedging it off can kill you double. And if you roll like John did, you die. Now, most people ain't rolling like him. That's sort of the thing that pulls me into it. But I think Dr. Don't Pass One was talking about, you just do it at lower limits and regress up and pull your way. I don't know if you saw that or if you were still, you weren't in yet. But like I did over there at the casino in La Berge, I started with 30. If I hit a good, 9 or 10, then I dropped it to 15. Oh, I won another one. Upped it to 20. Upped it to 25. And I just up and pull. Then when I lost, I went back to my 30. Okay. That's how I did it. I eventually got to 60s as a flat. But I did the same thing. You win a pretty good one, drop to 30, then 35, and then, good old-fashioned regression up and pull. I still say regression up and pull is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I just still say it. So if you play it that way, but one thing is for certain, you can't just go flat. You can't. I don't think so. I know John says he can, and he beat the wing craps and all that, and maybe he did. I just don't think you can. You got to have movement, in my opinion. And if you want to bet smaller in $30 or $60 increments, I think you can eke out some money, Jen. I really do. But did you see me do the first part, Jen, where I did Waylon's lay the point? Whoa, a lot of people have said stuff. I gotta read it now. No, Mike, just continually doing DC and just let it come out and leaving more. I know I haven't. Um, I haven't. Yeah, Donnie. I mean, you can say it's tough to recover on higher bets, but I'm gonna assume, like, if you have a huge ass bankroll, $10,000. I mean, some of them boys come to the table got some juice behind them. You're not gonna play at 30 or 60. You're just not. 500 to them is like $50 to me. And then they can do the regression up and pull, and they can do everything they need to because they got the bank behind them. There's one thing is for certain: if you're gonna play this, however you play it, you gotta have the bankroll behind you. But Jen, like I was gonna say, when I did my paycheck, I just did Waylon's little simple lay the point ladder. I won 300 some odd dollars pretty damn quick. But anyway, it's tough to recover. It's not the higher bet, Donnie, that makes it tough to recover, because if you have a big bankroll, it's all relative. It doesn't matter. Recovering is recovering. Well, if I'm betting $30 in 7, 7, 11, and I'm only got a $500 bankroll, recovery is still, it's the same. Just because of the color. It all depends on your bankroll. Let's see here. What do you say, Tony B? So, Jen, you came in around the 40-minute mark. Yeah, this is my win. I knew I wanted to do the Waylon's thing, and I wanted to earn my paycheck real quick, and I did real quick. But I knew I wanted to get into this because it's really been on my mind, as everybody can tell. What do you say, John, at Pro Craps? Man, we're just doing a round table on this UAW, or what you call the DI don't. And a lot of interesting things are being said. And one thing that did come out is we just don't think hedging is right, because you can get yourself in more trouble. But at the same time, I believe you got to have some movement down here, John. I don't think you can just go flat. You got to have some regression, maybe some up and pulls. You got to do something. And I don't know if you saw what I did in LaBerge. I sort of mapped it out for you. I think you got to have movement. Whether you come out of the DC or don't, you got to have movement. I think flat kills you. That's just me, but well, Jen, that interesting you say that, because that's just going to be a matter of what you're after. Okay, so for example, John has $500 out there, and it doesn't matter what this is. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 500 out there. I think even today he was wrestling with it. So, do I do 250? Or do I do 275? In other words, go heavy on the 7, especially on a 4. It's logical as hell. I get it. I really, really, really do. But me, I'm a gambler. If I can win max and tie, or maybe just win a quarter on the 7, I want to go for it. And I'm surprised, really, that John doesn't like going for, because John likes going for things. John, you do. You like going for things. I'm in that same mindset too. And so maybe what I do, on 5, maybe I come in at 450. Okay, I'm going to win 450 or 50. I know by numbers, it's better to probably go opposite that. Jen, I hear you. But if I can't be beat, I want that 2 to 1. I want it. So that's a score for me. That's what I'm waiting on, is to hit a 4 or 10. The 5s and 9s are okay. The 6s and 8s, dead out suck. I think you got to go even money with those. You just do. If you tie, so what? But on a 4, I want to use those as a hammer. Now, that's just me. You can use it and go for the 7 to go more money that way. That's all. I'm not worried about that part of the play. Really. I'm to each his own on that one. That coming out of there, that's the deal. And if you lose, what do you do with it? That's what this whole thing has been about. Let's see here. I'm still trying to read some of this stuff. Man, a lot of people are going crazy here. Y'all talk among yourself while I read. What I did in LeBird's? Jen, yeah. I ain't gonna roll it because I've been on this thing now forever. But yeah, I'll show you what I did. I came out with 30 bucks. This is in LeBird's. Okay? If I lost, I just went to 35. If I lost, I went to 40. I just sort of inched it. I didn't do a full ladder. But then I would come back down. Now, if I won, other than a 6 or 8, because you just don't win much, but on a 4 or 10 or 5 and 9, I regressed. So I went from 30 to 15. Same crap. I went 1 for 1. 15. I didn't do the win both ends. Okay? So let's say I got a 4. Boom, I plugged it and I won it. Well, you lose here, but then you get the 15 plus 15 more. Just like so. Guess what my next move? Up and pull. Boom. If I want it again, up and pull. And then I finally got to where I was betting 60 as a flat. And then making my movements up and down based on 60. Now that's just what I did in LeBird's, and that was not even thinking about all this stuff like I have been the last few days. Me and John have been talking a lot, and we know coming out is it. It is it. But I just don't think there's a fix for it. I just don't. Let me read some more. Yeah, lower, I still say it's relative, Donnie. It's relative to your bankroll. The color chips really doesn't mean anything. Can you take a $30 whack better than a $300 whack? Yeah, I guess so. That makes it more palatable, I guess. But whether you win or lose, or how much you win or lose, is the same. It's just on a different scale. All right, Skill, what are you saying? It's a 6 and 8 place versus DC or DP that you have to solve. No, I don't. I really don't give a shit on that 6 or 8. That's a throwaway to me. I mean, it's just a throwaway. I don't care about that. You know, if I got 30 down here, that damn 6 comes, I don't care. I'm putting 30 in there. I'm only going to win $5. There's no reason to go for dollars here. $2, $3. There's just no reason for it. Either get the damn $5 or don't. 6s and 8s, and John has figured this out too. 6 and 8s are throwaways. Now, if you're betting, $2,000, all right, now it means something. Okay, you can win 100 or 2. Now it means something. But at $30, that 6 and 8 don't mean nothing. It's a throwaway. You don't even want to see them. That's just my opinion. Yes, Jen, I want about $500 that night doing that crap. Because once I finally got it up to 60, now keep in mind, these people weren't blowing points or they weren't, come out 7, come out 11, come out 7. They weren't doing what John was doing today. They were like normal. Oh yeah, I'd lose it, and I'd have to ladder up a little bit, but then they'd do 2 7s in a row, and I'd win it up here. It just sort of worked like it was supposed to. But yes, I did win about $500. Let's see here. So I hope that helped, Jen. John, you're right. And that's what I was trying to tell somebody here just a minute ago. With a lower level. Now I did it. 30 going up to 60. It just went my way. But I didn't go flat like you. I regressed up and pull. So when I regress and lose, I won money. I kept money. And when I up and pulled it, I won more money that way. So I just don't believe, John, and you're going to have to roll this out on win craps or whatever. I just don't think keeping it flat, 500, 500, 500, 500 is the answer. In my opinion, buddy, I'm trying to figure this out like you are. Swear to God. But I think flat is not the move. And that's just what I think. That and 50 cents buys you shit. Let's see here. I skipped your comment. What comment? I mean, it's hard going through all this stuff, Dylan. Yeah, it's hard, John. Hell yes. And coming out is, maybe that's, never mind. I like the DC better too, I think. I mean, yeah, you can lose, say you lost the 30 here on the don't pass. Instead of putting 60 on the don't pass, you still got to come out. But if you come out, now you can put a 30 on that don't come. All right? That'll help you if a 7 comes now. And then let's say if you get a 4, let's say that was a 9. Now you can do 2, and you can possibly win it twice. That's okay too. But I still think it's the movement. Whether you come out of here or come out of here, it's the up and down movement, I think, is going to have to be a key. I just believe that. Yeah, flat, Jen. I just don't believe it's a recovery. I just don't think you can. I mean, you're there to gamble, so if you really like what you're doing, it's just like his ladder lay point. I think I only had to go up to the 2nd level with how it was rolling, but like I said, I went up to the 4th level once in practice, but I always made money with it. I like the whole concept of it. It's very simple, and I like it, but there's movement. There's money movement, and I think, John, I think somehow you're going to have to come to grips where there's got to be some kind of movement. I just believe that in my heart. You say if you go from 5 to 6. No, it ain't. Not if you do it like I do it, it's not. Okay? So, you lost 500. All right, you already lost 500. Now let's go to 6. And that's a 10. Okay? I put the entire flipping 600 out here. You're going for the 7. I'm not. I'm going for that 10. Or that 4. Okay, now it means something. Okay, that 6 just turned into 12. It's more than $10. It's all in how you do that bet there. And I'm not saying how you do it is wrong. You go lighter here than I do. I'm going for it. Tie or give me all of it. May not be the way to do it. That's just the way I do it. Therefore, it does work. And then once you win that, you can ladder. Okay? Especially if you're at $500. Like so. And you did it like I just did it. You come out here with 500. Okay? And it hits. You lose this 500, then they pay you. You're up 500. Now guess what you can do? You can regress that damn thing back down to 2. If you get a 7 now, oh well. You still make money. I think a regression up and pull or some kind of movement. I've been racking my brain too much on this. I think that's the key. I just do, but let's see. Yeah, well, John, like we talked about too, if you constantly, like you did today, 5 or 6, 7 outs or come out 7s and a couple of 11s, 8 within a few. I mean, I don't give a shit what you do. You're getting whacked. We talked about that. I mean, there ain't nothing. I don't care, ladder, flat. You're going to get whacked on rolls that you did today. Absolutely nothing you could have done about it. So that's a fact. But I think if it goes more normal, like your day 2, maybe you had 2 7s and a bunch of wins, that ladder up and pull, I think would have got you more. I just do. But I mean, I'm not saying anything how you're doing it. I'm just analyzing this until my brain hurts, and I just think you got to have some kind of movement. And I don't think hedging is the right thing either, because you can get in double trouble. But yeah, you got to go up, which is like anything else. If you're going to play something like this, you got to bring some juice with you. You can't run this on a shoestring. I mean, you got to bring some money and be prepared for it. Let's see here. What have I missed? And I'm just missing so much here. And I can't go back and look at you guys' comments when I shut this down. Alright, what'd Skill say, man? It made sense. John, it's hard reading through this garble, isn't it? What do you say, Z? Unless you got Nemo. Nemo, what are you talking about? Well, this is the most people I've ever had watching. And you guys are typing faster than I can read it. I hold you here forever. Hey, John, is there a way I can go back and read all that stuff after I kill the live feed? Because it just takes it from me and I can't go back. Unless there's a way, you got to tell me, because... Oh, thanks, darling. I know Waylon did it coming out of both ends. He did it, did a dope pass and a don't calm. I think he did pretty well with it too. So once it processed, man, I go back and look at all my old lives. I don't think I can read anybody. Oh, the next day and rewatch the video. I'll have to try that, because there's so much chatter. And I guarantee you I miss them. I know Dylan said, oh, you missed my thing. It's so easy, especially when you guys are talking amongst yourself. It rolls so fast. I miss it. So I'm sorry about that. I'll go back and read this stuff maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I know. Today, John, I don't think it would have flipping mattered. With the rolls you had today, I don't care what we'd have tried. It would have got whacked. I really believe that. There ain't nothing you could have done about it today. second cousin to the moon bubble. Ha ha. Yeah, you guys are typing so damn fast. Yeah, red eye. I sort of do. I like the way I played it in LaBerge. I just think the up and pull, regression up and pull, not using a huge bankroll. Again, if I was in LaBerge and rolled John shit, I would have got whacked too. But I think a regression when you lose a small ladder, not a whole ladder, laddered up, laddered down, but then use the regression up and pull. I just think the regression up and pull in most cases is magic. Because John, if you have $500 and you hit a good 4 and you drop down to 250, and then up and pulled your way back up to 5. Well, by the time that 7 came again, you didn't lose 500 at that point. You either won so much. So that's what I think. Anyway, I'm sweating to death in this room of mine. In LaBerge, I didn't lay it all out, but I went to LaBerge with about $1,500. That's all. I started with 500 on the table. Now, I didn't win all the 500 on the first session. I didn't. But if that's what you're asking, I came in with about $500 every time and just eked it out over a few sessions. I might have took a little more to the casino than 15. I did really well. I won a bunch of money that 2 days, but if that helped, I took 500 to the table. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I was prepared to burn it. Most of the time I'd have come in at 1,000, but I wouldn't let myself lose over 500. But this time I just went ahead and threw the 5. I felt comfortable enough with what I was doing. I think if it's rolling right, like John uses $500 bills, right? But if he gets a 4, gets a pop, then he gets a 10, he gets a 5. If it rolls right, the dude will never need his 5,000. He'll never even get close to using his 5,000. So if it's rolling right, you don't need a lot of money. It's only when it goes south is when you have to have that bankroll. That impressed you, Jen. $500. Yes. No, I never start with craps. Ever. Craps is, oh my God, I started with blackjack. To be honest with you, this trip. I won a couple $100 doing my regression up and pull. Started with blackjack. And then, believe it or not, I took about 40 of that. Went over to a little dinky slot machine. I think I won a couple $100 there. And then I tried all sorts of shit. But then I went to the bubble craps, tested it. It worked, but slower than snot. And then I went over. So I was there hours and hours before I hit the crap table. Because you got to understand, with me, craps is not my number one game to play. I know it is for most of you guys and gals, but it ain't me, man. It's in my top 3, but it ain't my number one go-to. And, oh, by the way, I went to the sports book, and I won over there as well. There's a couple games I wanted to bet on, so I was sitting there drinking beers, watching the Lakers get beat, and then that damn 4 overtime hockey game. I had that game won at regulation because I went under 5.5. Actually, I ended up getting it under 6. It didn't matter. I had that won. I'm just waiting for it to finalize. So No, Jen, I never win or lose all my money on one game. Never. I think that is the most unwise thing a human being can do. You better spread it out and get good at other crap other than just craps. That's my opinion. Oh man, are you gonna send me the chat, boy? All this stuff. Oh, you got killed on the on roulette, on the dozens. It happens, but you think you messed up. You lost 1,000 on electronic roulette. Electronic. Is it a live table where everybody, it's like bubble craps, everybody can bet on the same wheel? But it's a live wheel. It's a live wheel. Or was it an electronic wheel? Please don't tell me it was a damn video wheel. Yes, you got to start higher with the rup, John. All right, it was a live wheel. Was you following the win, or was you holding the same two dozens? Yeah, I think I've seen those. Well, I got whacked on it. I lost my $5,000 live. I'm 35-1, Jen, on my lives. 35-1. And I went down that 5,000. I don't know if you watched it, but the one was the dozens. It was always hitting the one I didn't have all night. And I was laddering it up. And now you can ladder up if you've got like, $100 on each. You can just go up, up, up. But when you win, it's not like you're just betting one thing. Truly, you should triple it. So if you had 100 and 100, you should go to 300 and 300. You got to go by threes, really. But no, I win most every time I play the dozens. But that one time I did it live for you guys, I got whacked. $5,000. So it happens. Just like John got whacked, I got whacked, you got whacked, everybody got whacked. And if you're in the casino any length of time, everybody knows you're gonna get whacked sooner or later on something. I think on most, like Baccarat, I'm gonna follow the shoe. But I play it both ways, where I follow the win. But I think you're right, John. Just holding to the same two dozens and not letting that thing off, I think that's actually better. But again, roulette's probably my 5th game, 6th. I didn't play any roulette at all this last trip. It's not one of my favorites. Just something I can do if I need to. Yeah, Jen, when you finally win, yeah, you go to base. And then you can even regress, same concept. I mean, you're probably better off if you're going to follow something and do a regression up and pull, you just do red black. That way, you just like Baccarat. Wait on the streak. No, the up and pull is not the same as a ladder. Just so you know. Yeah, the up and pull, regression up and pull. Here's a ladder, Jen. 100, you lose. 200, you lose. 300, you lose. 400, you win. Go back down to 300. You just up a rung, down the rung. Ladder. Regression up and pull. Bet 100. Okay, you lose. I do stay flat. You know, bet 100. Okay, I don't ladder and regression up and pull. Then the next 100 comes. Okay, I win that one. Great, they pay me that. Then I'm gonna go down to 50. If I win that, it's up and pull. Now I'm still down for the moment, but I'm on the charge up. Now if I win directly for that 100 first shot, it's regress. Therefore, if they get me, I'm still up 50. And then you just up and pull from there. So no, they got some similarities to them, but a ladder and up and pull is different. All right. Well, listen, y'all. I know there's 22 of you in chat. Yeah, send me that transcript. That'd be cool. I'm burning up in this studio, so I'm going to go ahead and call this thing. I appreciate everybody being on this. I really do. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for the feedback. As I've said before, it's very valuable. All you guys and gals, you know, it's very valuable, especially if I can read all the transcripts so I can just see the flow of what was being said. All right, tomorrow, probably Baccarat. Probably. I might try something different than regression up and pull. I may just freak you all out tomorrow. But it ain't going to be roulette. I can promise you that. It's either going to be blackjack or it's going to be Baccarat. It's just depending on what table I want to put together. So, anyway, y'all, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and kill the feed now. Somewhere between 8 and 9 tomorrow. And we'll go live, and we'll do one of those two. All right? So until then, y'all, be great. See ya.